Hello everyone and welcome back. Welcome if you all are new. Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home. And in today's video, I am over the moon excited to share with you all 45 DIY Dollar Tree and budget-friendly decor crafts. So this is a binge-worthy crafting marathon. I love to get you guys excited and engaged in crafting and decorating on a budget. I truly believe that you do not have to break the bank to have a fabulous, amazing home. And I also truly believe that crafting and decorating is so good for your heart and soul, no matter where you're at in your journey. Keep on plugging in those glue guns and giving it a whirl. Okay, I'm also hosting a Qriket giveaway. You guys don't want to miss out on that. I will leave the details down in the description box for you guys below. And without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns. Get out your glitter and paint and let's get to crafting.
Dollar Tree DIY. I want to share with y'all how to create an amazing little lantern using Dollar Tree floating shelves. So I'm going to take 2 of these floating shelves and just trim off the little black plastic part on the back. And that is going to make the shelves fit a little bit better together back to back. You could also use a sander and sand it down. And the next thing I'm going to do is just using some hot glue, I'm going to hot glue it together. And I did use like a gentle sander on it, and that pretty much got it pretty flush up against each other. The next thing I'm going to do is take 4 of these 4x6 picture frames, and I removed the glass and also the backing, and I'm just going to hot glue them end to end, actually across from each other, and then use my hot glue and glue them end to end. So basically you just create a square box, and that's going to be where we're going to be able to put our little candle lantern. Now you could also leave the glass in if you were going to leave the top off of this. I had 2 more of those floating shelves, and so I created another base, and that's going to be my topper. And then the other thing I'm doing is I'm just using some acrylic black paint, and I'm going to paint the inside of my little picture frame box here. It is raining currently while I'm doing this DIY, so I did attempt to try to get it as covered as possible, and then once the rain lets up, I do want to cover it with 1 coat of satin spray paint, and that way it'll all have like the same finish on it. Now I'm just hot gluing the top to the base, and I popped a candle in, and voila, I have this fabulous lantern on a total budget. Now I did notice that you can kind of see in this top part where they were glued together, so I probably should have sanded that a little bit closer. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with some spackle and spackle that center part, and then sand it down and spray over it. But to be honest with you, I may just leave it as is and call it good. It's a little quirky, but I think it came out really fabulous, like something you would see honestly at Pottery Barn, minus the little blip in the top. But you guys, check it out. It looks great on my little coffee table here with some florals, and I cannot wait to share with you the rest of these fabulous DIYs. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I took one of the Dollar Tree square picture frames and I covered it in burlap, and then I'm taking some of this Dollar Tree greenery and I just trimmed it off at the base, and then some of these Dollar Tree hanging flowers, and I'm just going to hot glue them to the wreath. So I'm just kind of poking them in, and my idea for this came from a really high-end designer show, and I saw them doing a centerpiece, and they did just this beautiful blooming centerpiece. So this is just a Dollar Tree wreath form, again, that I covered in burlap, and then I'm taking these little short pieces of florals. So this is a great way to repurpose some of those florals maybe, or get a lot more bang for your buck. The next thing I'm doing is adding in some of these really pretty, vibrant, they're kind of like a little closed, it's either a rose, a cabbage rose, or like little peony. Anyway, they came in a bundle at Walmart. It was like $3 for the bundle, but I added that is kind of like a little bit of a showpiece. So that's kind of a little tip you guys can do is when you're creating a floral is to use some nicer florals popped in with just some inexpensive greenery and filler floral. That's going to get a lot more bang for your buck and make it really boutique gorgeous on a budget. So I'm just taking in and layering my greenery, as you guys can see, layering the little pink and yellow flowers. And again, I did cut the pink and yellow flowers apart. And if you see a little bit of hot glue around the edge, that's okay because we're going to go back in and cover it with some pretty little green moss. So the other thing is have fun with this and get creative. You can either use some lovely florals that you might have in your crafting stash or box or whatever you have going on, or you all could, pop into your local Walmart, Dollar Tree, or craft store, or I even find florals at the thrift store and gather some beautiful spring and summer florals to create a lovely masterpiece. The other thing is if you cannot find a square wreath form, you can always just use one of the Dollar Tree round wreath forms. I happened upon the square wreath form, and let me tell you, I know you guys think that I'm always finding really amazing stuff at my Dollar Tree, but I'm constantly hunting, and it's also completely random. I'll pop in there and it'll be empty shelves one day, and the next day it'll be completely stocked. So that's just the way it goes, honestly, with Dollar Tree. I also love the Walmart craft section, and Dollar General has some fun decor items, as well as, of course, your local craft store and thrift stores. So anyway, get creative with it, have fun, keep popping in those flowers, fill it out really nice and pretty until you feel like you're satisfied with it. And then what I did next was I just took some of that Dollar Tree greenery. It's like a little moss greenery, and they have several different kinds. So again, just customize it to whatever decor you're going for. I wanted this to look really summery, spring fresh. So I'm using my hot glue gun and I'm just adding some blobs of hot glue, adding in the greenery, and then I like to try to shake the greenery out, and if I feel like it needs more, but this greenery does shed. So a little note here, it's kind of annoying, but it's so pretty. Anyway, they also sell greenery sheets at Dollar Tree too, which I know I have one in my stash somewhere, but check it out. I took this and I stacked a couple of vintage books inside of a little square wreath floral form, and then I put my little Dollar Tree candle lantern in the center of that, just so I use the books kind of as a riser. But there's so many ways I'm going to style this. I've actually already moved it over to my dining room table, and I've styled it the exact same way with the books and then the little candle lantern in the center. So definitely you guys can have fun with this and get totally creative. So for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how to take one of those Dollar Tree planters, and this is just that geometric planter, and I'm going to use this beautiful napkin. These are actually Mackenzie Childs napkins. I ordered some off of the Mackenzie Childs website last year, and they have gone so far. This was the black set with a really pretty floral background. I just cut out the flowers as best as I could, and then using some waterproof Mod Podge, I'm just going to remove the white backing here from the back of the napkin and then pop it on to my little planter here. And I do get a little bit of bubbles in my Mod Podge. I try not to, but I went really slow with this project. Usually I'm a little bit sloppy with my Mod Podge, but I tried to kind of really take a deep breath and just really enjoy the process. So the other thing I love to do is to use this waterproof Mod Podge. Now, they have it at Michael's, they also have it at Walmart, and I've also ordered it off of Amazon. So those are 3 different places you can find the waterproof Mod Podge. And I do like it because it allows you to clean your project. So if you create something, then you need to wipe it down or dust it, or it's going to be, maybe outside on a covered porch, you might want to have that option. Dollar Tree also sells Mod Podge. So that's an option as well, but just have fun with it, get creative, choose whatever planter you can find. You don't necessarily have to use this shape of planter. I just had this on hand, so that's the one I decided to choose. And so I'm just Mod Podging more flowers, just kind of like a blooming little garden here. And then I'm going to take the little tag off the base because I do want to hot glue my little creation here to a candlestick. So I found some of these candlesticks at Dollar Tree and they're so amazing. I grabbed a couple. I've been using them. If you can't find this exact candlestick, that's okay. Look at your local thrift store. I've also found pretty good deals on candlesticks at my Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and you don't have to use the candlestick, but I did want to create something. I have this large candle, so I wanted it to be kind of like, you know, just something I could pop a candle into, or some pretty flowers, or just whatever I could, you know, pop something into that was pretty. You guys know I love pretty. I've been decorating with blues, but I wanted to mix in kind of just some different pops of some brilliant colors. In summer, I really like to bring color into my decor. I'm using some E6000 glue and also some hot glue to secure the candle base to my little planter. And then I'm going in with an ochre colored paint. You can find craft paint pretty much anywhere. I did get this, the company Arteza sent some to me, so that was nice. Thank you for that. But here it is. So I popped a large candle that sticks up from the edge into here. I don't think I'll end up using a candle in it, and there's Benji Bear, but I'm loving it. I think it's beautiful. There's so many ways I can style this, and I think just that little pop of black adds a bit of modern into my home. I have a very pale like backdrop. I do that on purpose so I can redecorate with different colors and nothing really clashes. So anyway, I hope you guys love this and are inspired to create a beautiful planter box on a budget. So for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I have to show you all how to create a really adorable plate using some Mod Podge and a Dollar Tree scarf. Okay, so I love Pioneer Woman. I think her style is so whimsical. I had this clear plate that I picked up from Dollar Tree, and I've also found them at Walmart before. I'm just going to take some waterproof Mod Podge and cover the entire plate with Mod Podge, and then I'm going to lay the scarf on top of that and just create kind of like a little whimsical plate that can be a decorative piece. Now, you don't ever want to eat off of a plate that you've put Mod Podge on, but because this is on the back, you could put some wrapped candies on there, but again, I would not put any food on it, even though it's on the back of it. But they make fun decoration. Okay, so I'm just taking the Dollar Tree scarf and smoothing it down onto the plate, and then it didn't quite take all the way. You kind of have to add a lot of Mod Podge and get the scarf pretty wet. And then even once I trim the scarf off, I go back in and add more Mod Podge. So, and you do want to let this all dry and then, you know, add more. So that's just kind of a little tip from me to you. I also do a layer sometimes over the scarf, but scarves are even better, you guys, than using napkins, in my opinion, for Mod Podging. They just lay down so nicely. They don't bubble, and they just make a really great creation. So I did get some Mod Podge on my scissors. You guys can see this is probably why my scissors are always a mess. You guys, so much glue ends up on them. I try my best, but I did have to wipe those off, and then just kind of really slowly go around my plate. I think this looks really cute. You can save the excess material as well and just, you know, make a cute little, you know, cut it into strips and make a little banner, or do another smaller plate. But look, doesn't this look like a Pioneer Woman plate? I mean, just a summer fun plate. I don't know. You guys, I really love to get super whimsical in the summer. So now you can tell that I still have kind of a little bit of some raggedy edges here. And so I'm just smoothing those down with some Mod Podge. So you really try to want to get the scarf off as easily as possible. Now, how I styled this plate was I put the plate kind of off to the side, and then I used another little smaller DIY plate. Here's a better view, and then just popped a candle into it. So it's kind of like a mix of vibrant blooming colors. And listen, you all can use any scarf or fabric that you might have on hand. I've made these with dish towels and napkins, so whatever suits your fancy, have fun with it. But I just thought that that would be a really fun idea, because Dollar Tree always sells, you know, scarves for every season. So it would be such an easy, great way to create some really decorative plates, and you wouldn't even have to buy the scarves. If you have a craft stash like me, you probably have plenty of fabric laying around. So anyway, happy crafting. I hope you guys love that one as well. So for the this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you a really easy Dollar Tree DIY. So it doesn't always have to be hard. All you guys have to do is grab some of the poster board letters from Dollar Tree, and I found this bucket. I think I actually had it left over from last season, but really any little Dollar Tree container will work. They sell so many different styles every season of all different colors. What I want to do is create a little garden box. I've been gardening right now. I collect books from the thrift store that are about gardening because I kind of just like to look at the pictures, but I'm taking the poster board letters and I'm just going to smooth them onto the front of my little tote here. And I did do one side and then have to redo it because my letters were just kind of off. But, you know, if you want to be really precise, you should probably measure it. Now, you know, I just like to have fun with things and kind of do it all on the fly. But just a little note, it doesn't bother me, but I know some people are like, oh, they're not perfect. So anyway, if it bothers you, get out your measuring tape and measure away. Now, the other thing I do suggest with these poster board letters, if you have a problem with them lifting off, you can take just a little bit of Mod Podge and kind of cover them with some Mod Podge, and that way they'll adhere a little bit better. If it's going to be like a high traffic item or something you're putting ice in and it's going to get some sweat, just use some waterproof Mod Podge and that would work just fine. Another fun idea I almost did with this is I almost chalk painted it to get it, you know, have more of like a flat matte finish. But I wanted to show you guys something easy. You know, sometimes we don't always have the time or the energy or even the money to make a really complicated craft. So sit down with some poster board letters and a little plastic tub and make something cute. I wanted to put grace on it or joy or bless, but I thought that might be more of like a Christmassy thing. And I did need something for my garden supplies. So anyway, I just thought this would be fun. It would give you guys a fun idea on how you can create a cute little bucket on a total budget. So here is how it turned out. It says garden, and then I'm just going to pop some of these landscaping and gardening books into my little tote, and voila, I have a fabulous little cute tote. Everybody knows where the garden books go. And you know, just customize it, have fun with it. I think it would be also fun to put outside and put my little gardening gloves in it. So anyway, happy crafting, easy crafts right here, and fun and super cute. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how to create a super easy, like this is so easy, little just candle lantern. So I'm taking one of these candlesticks from Dollar Tree. I added a really generous amount of hot glue and then this little, it's kind of like a thin little vase, and it actually has a crack in it. So I thought, oh, I've got to use this one up. I'm taking some little Dollar Tree, they're just like little fake jewels, and I'm turning them to the flat side down and I'm hot gluing them around the edge of it just to give it a little bit of dimension. I am going to spray paint over this. Like, it would be so cute just left as is, but because it doesn't have the crack on it, I just want to be able to turn it, you know, and spray paint it, and that way you can't see that little crack. But again, I'm just gluing the jewels around the base, and of course this step is optional. Now, if you can't find little candlesticks at Dollar Tree, you guys can find them at Hobby Lobby. I actually cheat all the time, run to Hobby Lobby, especially when they've got their candle stuff half off. It's not too bad at all. I'm taking this really pretty gold spray paint. Now, I have been getting this gold spray paint at Home Depot because it's so gold and so beautiful, and I love this just kind of subtle pop of glam mixed in with kind of, you know, the more modern farmhouse lantern we did, the really whimsical little wreath or, you know, floral centerpiece that we did, and then the little candle over there to the side. So just some fun, easy ideas on how to bring in glam and a little bit of modern kind of farmhousey look, or modern chic, modern. I'm from the Midwest, you guys. So anyway, I hope you're loving it and you're going to have some happy crafting and you're inspired. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I have one of these smaller Dollar Tree clear plates, and I really wanted to add in a really pretty little small plate to the mix of my groupings. I've been buying really nice wrapped chocolates, and I thought, oh, these would be really fun to just put a wrapped chocolate on. So I'm taking some of this waterproof Mod Podge and then one of the Mackenzie Childs napkins. So Mackenzie Childs is a really high-end, whimsical website, super artistic and fun and funky. And I'm just going to lay the napkin down on top of the plate, and I used a lot of Mod Podge, and then I always go back over it with another layer of Mod Podge. Now you can also remove the backing from the napkin, and if you paint the back of the napkin, that will help the napkin show through. Because I've been decorating with vintage books, though, I don't want this to look new. I want it to look a little bit more aged and just kind of, you know, a little bit more subtle. So anyway, I am trimming off the napkin, which still has Mod Podge on it. So I've got a note to self, make sure I clean those scissors. And then I'm going to take a little bit more Mod Podge and then add one whole layer to really get it to be really on there. It's going to need some time to dry, so definitely give it plenty of time to dry. I actually suggest leaving these overnight before you try to decorate much with them, or you can do like I do and get out the heat gun or blow dryer and try to speed things up because you're trying to get this video out. So anyway, this is a fun and easy craft, and napkins are super inexpensive, you guys. Use whatever napkin you have. I styled it with that cute little scarf plate that we made and the beautiful little candle, and voila, we have this fabulous little setup on a total budget. Listen, you guys, as always, comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video, which one you'll be creating, and all of that fun stuff. And I do have a new giveaway coming up very soon. I'm going to announce it either in Thursdays or Saturdays video, so you guys keep your eye out for that. And I love y'all. I'm thankful to have you here. Drop an emoji and light up the comment section with just happiness and joy and goodness. And thank you guys. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how to make a super adorable little side table using 4 Dollar Tree baseball bats from the kids section and then one of these little storage containers. So you're going to zip tie the baseball bats to the inside of the storage container, and I flipped mine up to where the little legs of the baseball or the arm of the baseball, anyway, the smaller part of the baseball was facing down. And so the places I was able to zip tie them the best to, that I felt like it made the sturdiest, were the top part of the inside of the basket and then the bottom part of the inside of the basket. And you could even add one more zip tie if you wanted, but it was pretty sturdy for being like a little plastic baseball table, and you'll never believe how cute and adorable this turns out at the end. I am absolutely crushing on it. It's gonna be so cute for my studio. So again, I'm just continuing to zip tie the little baseballs to the inside of the storage basket. Now, little note here, this is just kind of for a decoration. You're not going to want to put this out on your porch in the high wind, but if you had like a little corner, which I actually do, and I might try it, you could put a cute little plant on it, or, you know, a little side table for really any little space. But again, it's just mostly decorative. It's not going to hold a ton of weight or be like the most sturdy little table in the world. Okay, so here's how it looks kind of in phase 1. And I did try it out and kind of push around on it just to make sure that those little baseball bats were going to stay stable. And they actually totally did. Okay, so now I'm taking one of these extra large Dollar Tree canvases. They have these brand new out in the stores. I'm not sure if I shared it with you guys in my last haul, but you guys are definitely going to have to check for them. And then I used some E6000 glue to attach it, but I needed to have the project done quicker. So I ended up removing it and then using hot glue. Now I'm just spray painting it with my Rust-Oleum 2X spray paint, and I will tell you, I probably needed to use one more coat. The next thing I wanted to do was just kind of cover up the fact that it looked like a plastic storage basket, so I dug into my craft stash. I had actually 3 different types of nautical rope from the Dollar Tree, so I'm really kind of just making like an ombre layer, or really more of just a hodgepodge of rope. And so I'm just hot gluing the nautical rope on the lip of the outside of the storage basket. And I'm continuing to go around the table until I run out of this style of nautical rope. I believe I had 2 of the cream colored nautical ropes and then some more of the brown. And I also think that I may have not got my table completely straight on there. I maybe should have measured it, but it's a cute little table regardless. Have fun with it, get creative, and go for it. I think it's a fun little decorative side table. And comment and let me know if there's any ideas that you might have for giving it a little bit more weight. I will tell you that whenever you use rope on your side tables, like I did that other rope side table, the rope actually gives it a ton of weight. So here is how it turned out. It's an adorable little side table. I just thought it was so fun and creative. It would be a great little project if you guys had a couple little of these goodies. Like, you can find the majority of this at most Dollar Trees. You could also use a Dollar Tree sign in place of the canvas. So fun and fabulous on a total budget. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all a really creative way to make a wooden lantern using the Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks. Okay, so I used about 2.5 boxes of little tumbling tower blocks, and I used this little Dollar Tree vase, and I'm just arranging the little blocks around the vase, and you want to kind of put them sideways end to end. And then you can take another block and hot glue that on top of the two adjoining blocks. And you're just going to continue to go around in this motion, and it's actually going to create like a little vase. You could leave this around the vase, or what I did was I ended up spray painting it and then popping a flickering flameless candle down inside of it, and it really turned out so cool, you guys. I have the perfect spot for it on my patio because I do have, some darker colors out there. But the only thing I did notice that once I got to the top, some of the blocks kind of didn't want to sit as straight as possible. So I may have missed a link somewhere, and that kind of threw it off. But as I'm just working around, so you just work and continue to add the blocks, and it just gives this little staggered effect, which I know is so silly, but I think it turned out so cool, you guys. And you can kind of see through the different spaces on the blocks. And I did also make sure as I was starting this to kind of make sure I was giving, you don't want to hot glue them so tight to the glass that you can't get the glass out if you plan to do like I do and use it as a lantern. And you could also, this just came to mind, you could find a little base for it too, and even attach it to a little base if you wanted. But I did notice, the first time I did kind of have to push on it to make sure I hadn't hot glued the blocks to the glass piece. So anyway, just have fun with it, get creative. You could also stain these blocks before you begin to add them. That's an idea as well. There's so many options, and I just thought this was super neat. I can't wait for you guys to see the result. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to make a fun and fabulous little rope basket, but I'm going to line it. So I took this old pillowcase and I dropped it down inside of this little Dollar Tree tin, and I just kind of cut the edges off, and they're jagged. You don't have to really worry about how they look because they're going to be covered up by rope. Now I'm taking some of the Dollar Tree nautical rope and I'm going to attach the nautical rope to the base of my little tin planter, and I'm going to very gently kind of hot glue the nautical rope around the planter, and just continue to do that as you work your way up. The only trick about using rope on really any craft is those little frayed edges, so I always just try to add a little bit of hot glue and pinch them together. But continue to add the rope around, pinch it together, and you're gonna have a really cute little basket. So then as you get to the top, you can just hot glue one more layer of rope to kind of that top edge. Now, once I did an extra layer of rope, I wasn't totally for sure that I liked how far in I came with it, but having it being a lined basket is really nice because I think you can put utensils in it, you could put some little fruit in it, just really anything that you wanted to put in there that you wanted, you know, to have like a softer edge on it. I also thought the little Dollar Tree paper party straws would be really cute to pop down in here. Get the 4th of July color ones. You could do it for 4th of July. You could do it with so many different holidays. For mine, I chose some of the Dollar Tree faux limes. I love the contrast of the black, white, yellow, and then just those beautiful vibrant pops of green. It's kind of what I love to do in the summer is, you know, just get really nice little pops of color that really scream summer, happy, and sunshine. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of these Dollar Tree vases and some shish kebab sticks, and I want to create a textured vase. I've never tried one of these before, but I have seen them floating around on some different like TikToks and different things like that. So I was like, well, I'm going to go for it. The other thing I would suggest is to use wooden dowels, but I didn't have any on hand, and I've had these shish kebab sticks in my craft stash forever. I'm really trying to use what I have on hand. And so I'm just hot gluing the shish kebab sticks next to each other. So the key for me on this, when I tried it different ways, because the hot glue can kind of get a little bit globby. If it gets globby, you can take like a little sander block like I had over here and just kind of sand the little bit of hot glue down. But just continue to hot glue the shish kebab sticks, or if you happen to have the little Dollar Tree wooden dowels, you may want to grab a packet of those. It did take almost this entire bag of shish kebab sticks, but here's how it looked after I trimmed off those little top pieces. And then I'm just taking some of this black Rust-Oleum spray paint and I'm giving it a nice good dose of spray paint. I believe I ended up using 2 coats, and I'm just thinking it seems really just nice and chic. I almost thought about tying some burlap around it to give it a little bit more character, but I'm kind of trying to do that like really sleek look that you see at Pottery Barn, where it's just really, I don't know, fun. And I don't share like a lot of modern farmhouse, or, you know, I do a little bit more kind of floofy Bowie type things on my channel. So I do try to do though other styles. So I thought this might appeal to some of you that just like a simple, more kind of maybe farmhouse. This could be more, I don't know, contemporary, but just trying out different styles. And I think I love it. I kind of love all these clean lines. Now listen, I love my bows and flowers. They're not going anywhere. But for this video, I just thought it would be a fun share. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm taking a Dollar Tree charger and this nautical rope, and I'm going to hot glue the nautical rope to the center of the charger. And this is going to be kind of more of like a beach decor craft, but you guys, I've just really been crushing on the rope look. I've been mixing it in with my dining room table, my outdoor decor. I even made that rope table, which is holding up really well, surprisingly. So again, just take a Dollar Tree charger, start in that center point, and gently wind it around. You're going to want to have a decent amount of glue sticks on hand because a lot of the crafts I'm sharing with you guys in this particular video did take quite a bit of glue sticks. I like to order the longer ones on Amazon, and I may have some link to my Amazon store. I have a bunch of different crafting supplies. If you guys want to check that out, it's in the description box below for you. But again, I'm just continuing to glue and wrap the cute little rope around the tray. So as you get towards the end of the rope tray, you can take that very last piece and kind of tuck it up underneath the little charger area. And then you have an extra fabulous little rope basket centerpiece. And again, you guys, they are selling this style of decor on Pottery Barn for so much. It would blow your mind, like $50 to $100 for some of these different basket pieces. And here it is on a total budget using only a couple of spools of the nautical rope from Dollar Tree and then a cute little charger. So have fun with it, get creative, and go for it. Now for this next DIY, I'm going to share with y'all how I took this planter that I found on clearance at Hobby Lobby and some of these Dollar Tree greenery pieces. So check right now for the Dollar Tree ferns. I think they're so pretty and really inexpensive for $1. I think they do a pretty good job with their greenery. And then look at these beautiful, like flowy, they had hostas and they had ferns and they had all different kinds of beautiful greenery. And listen, again, I think that this greenery looks really beautiful. It doesn't look completely 100% real. You know, if you get up close, it does look a little bit fake. But once you have it all mixed together, I think it's a great idea just to green up your house. So here is how I kind of style this little space. There's the little lantern candle that we made out of the tumbling tower blocks. There's our little side table. There's our little rope basket. And then the pretty little textured vase in the background. And then I added a couple little bits more greenery. And then I also popped some of those little sweet little Dollar Tree limes into my basket for some color. And I did just kind of try also some different ways on how I wanted to arrange things on this table. They say to always arrange things in odd numbers, but I could not resist popping this sign on here. It says dare to be you. And I'm just feeling that so much right now. You know, just dare to be you and dare to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Love on yourself and also respect yourself. So here's those cute little limes. And I am just popping those into the basket. And then there you have that. And those limes also were from Dollar Tree. So as always, you guys comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be attempting to recreate. I love to hear what you're up to. I love just hearing from you guys. And don't forget too, I do have a Qriket giveaway that's going on for the entire, it's going to be going on for a month. So I want you guys to comment down below and let me know, what is your favorite empowering quote or your favorite Bible verse? Drop it down below. Let's light up the comment section with positivity. I can't wait for our next video. And here's a cute little snippet of Benji Bear for you. He says hello, as always, getting a quick little treat, and he has this little dazzling handsome scarf on. I want to share with y'all how to take one of these wooden crosses and detach the little base, and then you can use some really beautiful craft paper to craft on top of. So at Hobby Lobby, they have every kind of pattern and color under the sun. You could also paint these beautiful crosses, but I'm just going to use this pretty Mackenzie Child inspired paper. Again, I did get this at Hobby Lobby at 69 cents. I traced around my cross. Also look for the coupons on their paper goods. They'll run sales every week with different goodies, and they'll always throw some paper in there here and there. One of the ladies at the front told me about that. So anyway, go ahead and trim out the outline of your cross, and then I'm just using a really nice generous layer of Mod Podge for this, and I did end up having to use like several coats here. The wooden crafts from Dollar Tree, they're in the crafters square section like this, are always a little bit porous, and so it does take a little bit more to get that on. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay that down and smooth it out, and then add another layer of Mod Podge. And so originally I thought I was going to Mod Podge this pattern to both sides. I did actually end up taking this Elephant Waverly chalk paint and chalk painting the base of my cross, and then also the back. I just thought that would look kind of pretty and classy, and it's also very neutral, which I love to kind of mix in neutrals really for pretty much any season. Now I hot glued the cross back onto the base, and again, I was actually going to do a little bit of a different DIY and not use the base, but I ended up deciding to just put the base back on, and then I did trim the edges with some of the Waverly chalk paint. You would probably actually want to do this as the first step, but live and learn from my mistake. It came out really cute, I feel like, anyway. It gave it kind of a little bit of a distressed edge, and I did even distress the front of it with a bit of sandpaper. So really have fun with this project. Get creative. These are out right now at our Dollar Tree in the Crafters Square section. I thought they were so pretty. I picked up 2 of this style, and then they had another one with like a cross cutout. I'm also using this premium paint pen. I love these. It's the gold paint pen, and it really just jazzes things up and makes things a little bit extra special and sparkly. So again, this is the gold premium paint pen. It's Art Deco paint pen. You can get it at Michael's. You can also order it off of Amazon. So here is how it looks, and I'm just going to pop it in with my little display here. I think this is going to be so perfect really to move around anywhere. Probably pop it into my coffee bar. I do love to say a good morning cup of coffee with you guys every morning on my Instagram story with my scripture cards, and I do get those at Dollar Tree. So I love y'all, and I hope you're enjoying this one. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of the little burner covers from the Dollar Tree and some of this Dollar Tree nautical rope. I'm going to hot glue it in the center and then wind it around the center point, just making a kind of a cute little swirly basket weave idea here. So I want to make a little mini tray, and I want this to be something I can pop out into my patio or just in any little space. I've made some of these, but they're all a lot larger, so I thought it would be really fun just to have a smaller one. So just keep wrapping your nautical rope and gluing it. Once I had the whole little rope attached to my burner cover, I then took two little pieces of rope and decided to create some handles. Again, I want to create like a little mini tray. Dollar Tree is carrying these really cute like little farmers market type signs, and I chose this locally grown fresh produce. And so I also will tell you to glue your handles up just a little bit further. I was wanting my round sign to kind of sit flat down on my basket tray, but it ended up kind of being a little bit elevated, so it works fine. But just if you want it to sit down flat, put your handles up a little bit further. But I added handles to either side, and then you could honestly just be done here. You could put a cute little bead or something, you know, to cover just that edge. But I think it's pretty cute as is. And then I'm just going to add this little doodly dad. Again, that's that little round. It's like a plant stake, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to add that to the center. And then I also decided to add a layer of Mod Podge. And that way, if somebody wanted to sit a drink on this, it wouldn't like mess up the front of it, because it is going to be kind of a little bit of a tray that I'm probably going to use kind of maybe as a coaster, or probably just actually for a candle, which is how I'm displaying it here. But anyway, I thought that was a really fun idea just for something different. And if you want to create a little tray, you guys could also do this with like a square tray and one of the square Dollar Tree signs. I don't know. Honestly, the sky is the limit. Have fun with it. Get creative and go for it. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of these little blue trucks, and these are one of the 4th of July trucks. Now, I did buy two because I want to use one in my 4th of July display, and then one I wanted to use like in my lemon kitchen area. So I'm going to do a repaint on this truck. Now, don't panic, you guys. This is an absolutely adorable truck. I still have my other USA truck, but I did want to make one that would just kind of match my lemon decor. So I'm taking and I'm laying down a base of the white Waverly chalk paint, and that is going to cover some of the extra glittery and bumpy parts on my actual little truck. And then I'll go in with some of the Waverly elephant chalk paint and just chalk paint the edges right here. And this is above like little tire wheel spot. If you're a car person, let me know what this would probably be called. I guess this is the truck. My son would kill me because he's a total car truck person. Anyway, I am detailing this to the best of my ability and knowledge, and just trying to make it super cute with some fun neutral colors. Now, when you're painting these trucks, don't panic if things look a little bit wonky. You can always go back in and fix it with a little bit of a detail brush. I did go ahead and paint the back of it gray, and then I painted my little wheels and tires, and then I'm just again using some more shading and some detail work. So really, for something like this, a couple of different colors of gray, some whites and blacks are going to give you a pretty good little effect. And now I'm just going to hot glue this cute little mint sign onto the front. Now, it's actually not technically going to be a mint carrying truck, but the sign was the perfect size for this. I'm going to pop some lemons into the bed of my truck, some pineapples, and then some of the lemon leaves, and I'm going to hope the lemon leaves kind of look like mints. Okay, so these lemon plates I actually got at Hobby Lobby. Now they are carrying some different little fruit plates at the Dollar Tree, or you guys could just use some yellow foam or construction paper. Get creative with it. These little mini wooden pineapples are also from the Dollar Tree, but I just thought this was such a fun little happy truck, and again, it matches my kitchen. So anyway, just get creative with it. You guys could do a watermelon truck, you could do an herb truck, lemons, you know, anything that floats your boat, that pops into your brain. I do love to buy, you know, one extra of the trucks so I can kind of sometimes do these little cute repaints. I hope you guys are loving it. Comment and let me know what you guys think. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of these Dollar Tree burner covers. I love this one. It says, "When life gives you lemons, make lemonade." Super great motto for me right now. And so I just hot glued a piece of wire to the back, and then I put a piece of cardboard over that wire to kind of keep the little burner cover on, and then just wired it to this wreath form. This wreath form is about a 14-inch wreath form. It could have been a little bit bigger, but hey, we're gonna use what we have on hand. The next thing I'm doing is using some of this Dollar Tree greenery. I'm going to hot glue the ends of the greenery, and these do come in bundles, so there's about 6 to 7 a bundle, and you can just trim them off with your wire cutters. And then I'm adding in some more greenery in and around the little burner cover. You can also find these grapevine wreaths at pretty much any craft store or your Walmart for about $4 to $5. So continue to hot glue some pretty greenery in and around it. I thought that greenery would be really nice. Leaving kind of just the pops of yellow here and there. I didn't have a whole super ton of lemons left because I've already done one of my lemon wreaths and I've already done some other lemon crafts, but I thought this would be a fun one. I just really, really, really love this saying. I think it's amazing, and I think it's a good thing to keep in mind always. No matter what is going on in your life, when life gives you lemons, you can make lemonade. Just try not to let those lemons turn you sour or bitter. So I'm really trying to remember that. Okay, now go ahead and make a cute little Olivia bow. I'm going to use this Mackenzie Childs ribbon I had left over from Christmas. You're just going to take the ribbon and loop it over on itself. I did that twice to give me 4 loops. And listen, if you need a good bow video, just drop down into my YouTube description box, and there's a bow video you guys can find. It's a Christmas video, but it's going to share with you guys how to make a quick little Olivia bow. They're so easy. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take a zip tie to the center here, a zip tie up to the center, and then you just want to give it a good fluff enough, and then you have a fabulous little bow. And that's the secret to all my bows, is all that fluffing. And I also suggest to always try to use wired ribbon. That's super helpful as well. So once I had the ribbon fluffed out, I just wanted to go ahead and take another zip tie and zip tie to that, to the wreath. I always used to use pipe cleaners, but I'm really finding that I like zip ties better, so much better, because they really keep everything on really nicely. So I'm just fluffing out my ribbon. Now I think it's super cute as is, but you know, I have to go a little bit extra step, and there's my creative director in the background, BINGE Bear, my puppy dog. He wants me to play with them. But I'm going to use this blue ribbon, and I made another quick little Olivia bow. The blue ribbon I did get off of Amazon, and I used it last year as well, so it did last me quite a bit of a long time. I'm going to zip tie that to the center of my black and white check bow. And then there you guys have that. You can add some lemons. I added some of the lemons and Dollar Tree limes. They have a lot of limes out this year. Oh, and also you guys keep an eye out for those Dollar Tree lemon dishes. I saw some in my store yesterday, so they should be out in your store, hopefully. I also have some lemon dishes linked in my Amazon store too. So what is your favorite motto in life? That's going to be the secret question for this video. So if you're wondering what a secret question is, well, I do have a Qriket Joy giveaway that I'm going to be giving away. So I like to ask you all a secret question in every single one of my videos. It gives you guys an opportunity to connect and also to win the Qriket Joy. So just drop a comment down below. What is your favorite motto? Your favorite little quick thing that you love to pop out? You know, it could be a little token of scripture. Let's light up the comment section with some positive vibes. I think I really need that, and I know it can help others as well. But for me right now, it's when life gives you lemons, make a lemonade. And so I hope wherever you're at and whatever you have going on, you're making the best of it and making that sweet little glass of lemonade. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of these super adorable little Dollar Tree frames. These are out right now in our stores, and they're a larger, I believe 8x10 size, and they're really, really cute. I mean, you could totally use them as is. I got the idea to just go ahead and pop some of my Mackenzie Childs pattern. This is just from Hobby Lobby. It's just a little paper pattern, and I'm measuring it to measure the size of the backing of the frame. And I didn't even realize you could remove the backing and then add an insert, or you could even add in a piece of glass, or gosh, even a mirror. I don't know. So anyway, I did cut that piece of, I keep wanting to say fabric, but it's paper. I'm popping it back into the frame, and then voila, I have this really cute little customized frame. I do like the black, but I just thought it'd be neat. Now listen, Dollar Tree is also selling these paper cutouts. If you want to do some larger paper cutout decor, you could Mod Podge these, make them into a banner. I decided just to pop it onto the center of my little picture frame here. You could also put some of your kids' pictures in there, but I thought it was such a happy, fun little way to bring some sunshine and lemon fresh goodness.
Dollar Tree DIY. I want to share with y'all how to make a super amazing Pottery Barn pedestal bowl. So you're going to take one of those little Pottery Barn, they're kind of like a little glass cylinder jar, flip it over, add some E6000 glue, and then I like to use hot glue too, so I get that instant hold. And then take one of these little succulent tray dishes, or they're just like a little kind of like a fishbowl tray, and now this is plastic, and then just pop it onto the top. And then I'm taking this elephant colored chalk paint. This is the Waverly chalk paint. I get it at Walmart, and I've never tried the elephant color, but I absolutely love the tones of it. It looks so earthy, and the earthy look is so in right now. So the first coat was just a little bit watery. I think I needed to have mixed it up a little bit, but once that dried and I applied the second and then third coat, it worked really, really well, and it looked really amazing. So once the chalk paint was dry, I went ahead and filled it with some of the Dollar Tree white rocks and then some of the little Dollar Tree seashells. I popped this beautiful blue candle. I found it at TJ Maxx. Lately, I have really been incorporating a lot of blues into my decor. I feel like it's the perfect time to incorporate blues when it's summer. We have our pool up. It's going to be the best summer ever. But anyway, I think this is a great dupe on the Pottery Barn little pedestal bowl. They run from $45 up to $100, and we did it for $2 plus some cost of paint. You guys know I love boutique gorgeous on a budget.
I can see the person I know I should be. 'Cause honestly, I don't have no time to waste. I'm trying to come back to you because now I see we were meant to be.
For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to share with you guys how to make a wooden little lantern using 4 of the Dollar Tree canvases. So I removed the canvas from the actual wood piece, and then I'm just taking these little snips, and I removed all of the little staples, which is a bit tedious, so be ready if you want to go to that step. But then I'm just going to take my hot glue gun, and I'm going to hot glue the wooden pieces together. So I'm using a high heat glue gun, and it seems to work really well. And so I'm just hot gluing them all together. Now make sure you try to line them up where 2 of the pieces are on the outside and then 1 is on the inside. So anyway, you guys, this is just such a great way. If you wanted to do a tabletop, this would be a great little kind of summer or really any seasonal kind of tabletop decor piece, because you can stain it, you can paint it. And I'm using this Waverly Antique Wax stain. I'm using one of the little Dollar Tree sponge brushes, and I just stained the entire thing, and voila, I have a fabulous little lantern on a total budget. Okay, so now I grabbed a piece of Dollar Tree styrofoam and some Dollar Tree florals, and then some of these florals I've just had floating around in my stash. I'm going to use greenery to go around the base, and so I really want to make this lantern appear as if it's blooming. Again, a great bridal idea since it is bridal season, or if you just want to make a beautiful decor piece for your home on a total budget, add some fun florals. Dollar Tree has the best greenery out right now, you guys. And then you can pop a candle into the center, or whatever you want your centerpiece to be, a little photo frame or just whatever suits your fancy. So have fun with it, get creative, and go for it.
Just tell me where and I'll come see ya. 'Cause I'm afraid that I'll end up here alone. Hope you'll understand how much I need ya. Take me back to when we were kids and didn't care if we were acting stupid, 'cause all we had was us. If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know I should be.
The other thing I did decide to add to the centerpiece of my centerpiece were some of these beautiful roses. So a tip I have for you all is to mix in some inexpensive greenery and then take a couple of beautiful roses. Maybe you can grab them at Hobby Lobby, TJ Maxx, Walmart, even Dollar Tree has some pretty roses, and add those in just as a pop of like a blooming freshness. And again, I just really had bridal on mind with this. I just thought it would be so pretty. I did all of my bridal decor for my wedding, and so I did a lot of DIY, homemade, handmade. And so now I just pop some moss into the center of this, and then a beautiful flickering flameless candle, and I think it looks perfect. Now I will leave a link to my Amazon store where I have a ton of flickering flameless candles and all kinds of goodies, my craft supplies in there if you guys want to check that out. But so fun and fabulous on a budget. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how to make a super adorable, really simple, beachy summer little votive vase. So Dollar Tree is carrying kind of this larger vase, and I'm taking some of the Dollar Tree nautical rope and I'm just hot gluing it in and around the base of the votive, and that's going to create kind of that little beach vibe, I guess. And really you guys could use any kind of little string or pretty ribbon that you have on hand. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a beach vibe, but because it is almost summer, you guys, I'm just really feeling like some beach dreaming. And so if you can't be at the beach, why not create some crafts that make you feel a little bit more beachy and fun? So again, I just added some nautical rope to the base of this. I didn't want it to go too far up because I am going to be popping a candle into it. And then now the fun part comes where you guys can just decorate it. You could add some bling. I'm going to add some of these seashells, and I will tell you, I do love this pack of seashells from Dollar Tree because there were so many different sizes, and they had this smaller little seashell, and so I was able to just really kind of mix and match and add tons of goodies to the front of this.
Acting stupid, 'cause all we had was us. If I close my eyes and think about us, I can see the person I know.
Now, the other thing you're going to want to look for at Dollar Tree right now is the raffia that they are putting out. And I'm telling you that because you can use this for fall crafting. So I added a little raffia bow to the front, some beautiful little rocks. Again, these are also from Dollar Tree. And then I popped in a candle and voila, I have a fabulous little beach dreaming candle on a budget.
We were meant to be.
For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how to take a super simple little Dollar Tree picture frame. This is one of their 5x7 picture frames. It's kind of this like Frenchy farmhouse, beachy vibe, bluish gray. Well, I'm taking some of these cute little seashells and I'm just going to pop them onto the corner of the frame. And I think this makes the perfect memento for when you've spent some time on the beach, you come back with that cute little family photo and you just want to have something to decorate. Or maybe you live at the beach and you need some fun new little beach decor. Or maybe you have a friend or a family member that you like to make this for. Or maybe just like me and you want to do some beach dreaming and hope that maybe you'll get to the beach this year. But anyway, use some of those Dollar Tree seashells, pop it on with some hot glue. You can mix in jewels, you can mix in some sea glass, whatever floats your boat. Use some of your actual beach mementos that you get from the beach if you actually do go. But anyway, have fun with it, get creative, and go for it.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire.
For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how I'm taking these cute little Dollar Tree votive holders. I'm going to flip them upside down. Now they have this really cool kind of sea glass color to them and this feather pattern on them. I wanted to pop some of these other little Dollar Tree glass jars on top of them and then add some E6000 glue, which is glass glue. It will keep your glue permanently together, but really any sure bonding like heavy duty adhesive glue will work. And then some hot glue, and that is going to pop these on top of here. I just thought this would be a fun way to add height. I really love to add height to a lot of my decor pieces, and you guys can really get so creative with this. You could use a candlestick, you could pop rocks and a succulent into this, you could put seashells into these, you could add candles, really anything that your little heart desires. But this is just a fun and fabulous and easy little craft. I feel like all summer crafts should just be so easy. So I'm trying to share with you guys so many different easy ideas. So what I did was I just used some of these Dollar Tree white seashells. So I grabbed a colored pack and then a white pack, and they're so fun to play around with. So I just popped them into here, and then voila, you can pop these into your bathroom as a little decor piece or set next to your kitchen sink, again, to do some beach dreaming. I just love this pretty aquamarine color. And then the other thing I did too was I popped some little jewels into the center of the Dollar Tree starfish. I feel like that gave them a really fabulous glam look. Now listen, I'm going to link where I get my jewels. They're from totallydazzled.com, and Natalie is a small business. She is amazing. So you guys check out that link if you need some crafting jewels. They're super inexpensive. They come out to about $1.50 each, and they're so beautiful. So here we go with our little beach dreaming starfish little candles. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of the Dollar Tree vases and some nautical rope, and I just want to create a cute little beachy themed kind of vase. I'm going to start by hot gluing the nautical rope to the base of the vase and then just kind of wind it around and give it that really sweet little beach vibe.
smile, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon is the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna
The next thing I did was tie a little raffia bow, and then I'm just going to add that to my little vase. This is going to be similar to the votive holder that I made. I wanted to have like a little matching buddy, and so then you can get creative and decorate it with some seashells or just whatever suits your fancy and whatever style you want to go for. I'm using some of the Dollar Tree rocks to pop into here to give it some height and dimension.
Oh, take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. I just want you, I just need you. I don't know what it is you do. I just want you, I just need you. I don't know what it is you do. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Just tell me you'll stay.
So I popped in some little Dollar Tree white rocks and then a cute little candle, and now I'm jazzing it up a little bit further to match my other little creation with some of the Dollar Tree seashells. So there you guys have it, a fun and fabulous beach dreaming decor idea on a total budget. Now listen, as always, I ask that you guys comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video. Which one will you all be recreating? Thank you for going along with me with my crazy allergy voice. Also, I'm going to be giving away a Qriket Joy. I want to bring one of you some joy, so don't forget to leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite beach that you go to is. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you very soon.
So thank you all so much for joining me on another
For the first Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to make a super cute and easy Dollar Tree blooming fern floral tin. So I'm taking one of these tins from Dollar Tree. I hot glued some styrofoam to the base of the inside of the tin. And then I'm just going to take some of the Dollar Tree ferns, and I do like to kind of fan them out as I begin to move them into the floral arrangement. And again, just kind of take the ferns and gently pull them. You can even curl them just a hair, and that's going to give them a little bit more of a realistic look. Now, ferns are probably one of my most favorite things to decorate with during the summer months for some reason. I always have a couple outside of my home, inside of my home, and this fern is actually going to be for my son's bedroom. I want to pop it into his room to just kind of give it some greenery. There's not a lot of light back there, so we're probably not going to do like a full-blown plant, but I thought this fern would stay alive and just bring some greenery into this space. And it's going to, not be too girly. So I ended up probably using 4 to 5 bundles of the Dollar Tree ferns. Now, right now during the summer season is when you're going to want to grab the ferns. The next thing I did was take this Dollar General little tray, one of these Dollar Tree little home signs. They're out right now. They're galvanized. I popped it onto the galvanized tray, and just this cute little picture frame of him and his girlfriend, his wonderful, beautiful Skylar. I ended up changing it out for a graduation picture that I took of them. And because it was a little bit taller, the shorter picture seemed to, I was losing some of their picture in it. But here it is, popped into the spare bedroom where he can come and visit. Now he's off to college, and then just next to this cute little lamp. And I actually got the lamp at Target. For this next DIY, I want to share with y'all how to create a summer floral on a budget. So from, I believe, TJ Maxx or maybe Tuesday Morning, I found these really beautiful blue and white pictures. I'm taking this Dollar Tree piece of styrofoam, and I just hot glued it to the base of the picture. Now I'm going to take some of these sunflowers. The sunflowers are in a bundle. They're half off at Michael's right now. So I am beginning to transition some of my more spring florals into summer florals. Now what I like like to do is add in sunflowers into my arrangement. I'm going to add a taller one up at the top and then one off to the side. And then I'm just going to add in some blue flowers, and this is going to keep that beautiful summer vibe going. So mixing in some blues and some whites. And then once it becomes a little bit later into summer and we want to start moving into fall, I can pull the blues and whites and begin to mix in some fall colors. But sunflowers are so bright and so sunshiny. So I added in some taller white flowers. Again, these are also half off at Michael's. And then I'm just kind of clipping them off and picking them in and around this beautiful summer floral. So after I gave my summer bouquet a bit of a fluffing, I did pop in a couple of little orange and yellow flowers, just kind of peeking out the back. And I popped this onto my mantle. I have been collecting books from the thrift store. I feel like it is one of the best places to find used book for decor and also for reading. I also found those little A to Z bookends. They're not vintage, but I thought they looked really cool on my mantle with these beautiful blue and white pictures. And the pictures were like probably $12 to $15. And then just popping in these summer bouquets. This blue and white is just really speaking to me this year. It feels so crisp and cool and clean. And then I added some topiaries to either side of my mantle. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take 3 of these little Dollar Tree small vases and some E6000 glue. I'm just going to E6000 glue these vases together. I'm using the E6000 glue. It is a permanent glass glue. And then I'm adding in just a little bit of hot glue so I can get the E6000 glue to kind of cure, and then the hot glue will be kind of like a temporary hold. So hope that makes sense. Anyway, but I'm just going to glue 3 of these together, and you guys can even add like some little pearls in and around the seam of this. Now for this one, I wasn't for sure what I wanted to add. I've done one with pearls and I've shared that here with you guys before, but for this one I decided to make it kind of like a summer, just like something maybe you would see at Kirkland's, like a summer, just kind of fun, not really farmhouse, but just something that can transition to fall. I guess I know it's not even close to fall, but I always think about how we can get more bang for our buck with our DIYs. So I just tied some raffia. You're going to find that at Dollar Tree around the front and just like a little knot. I trimmed it off, and now I'm taking some of these Dollar Tree rocks, and I should have put them in a bowl because they scattered everywhere. But hey, we are going with this and we're going to give ourselves some grace. Trust me, I make a giant mess when I'm crafting. The next thing I'm doing is taking some of the Dollar Tree red and white carnations. Now, I'm not for sure if they had the blue carnations at Dollar Tree. I wanted to make like a red, white, and blue, just kind of festive little patriotic floral for either my entryway table or for my coffee bar. I ended up using it in my coffee bar, which you guys see me make my coffee every single morning. I share a good morning cup of coffee with you, as well as a prayer card. And it's the best way to start my day. But I was noticing that it just seemed kind of like it had been the same coffee bar for the last couple weeks. And to give you guys something different to look at, we're going to kind of redo it in this red, white, and blue theme. And just make it feel cozy and fun. So I'm just popping in these red and white carnations and then some of these little blue hydrangeas. And then that worked perfectly. I felt like it looked kind of summery and fun. And then when fall comes up, it's going to be so easy. All I have to do is pop in some leaves or some fall mums. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, it's really a silly, easy DIY, but I thought it would be a fun to share. So I love these new little signs they're putting out. They look really cute. They have little galvanized letters. They say love on them. I also have the other one that I used in my son's bedroom that says home. And I just added to the little wreath in the center one of those little Dollar Tree. It's a mini clothespin, and that way I can add a cute little bow to the wreath and make it seasonal, which I thought was kind of fun. And also these love signs fit perfectly on a larger like 3-tiered tray. I'm using this in my coffee bar for 4th of July, so I thought I would take this gingham blue and white ribbon and just tie a little bow. And I like to tie a shoelace bow for a smaller bow, and when I say shoelace bow, it's nothing fancy. It's just the exact same bow that if you were tying your shoelaces, you would tie on your shoelaces. And so now I can clip it on to the front of my little love sign, and then as each season rolls on, I can do something different. So here's maybe a fun idea. I did find this little Dollar Tree little red truck ribbon. Oh gosh, I want to say it was either during Christmas or Valentine's Day. I was really excited to find it, but then realized it was kind of hard to use to keep the trucks to where you could see them. I don't know if you guys have any ideas on that, but I'm trimming it off and then just showing with you guys like a fun idea. So when Christmas rolls around, I can change this out and have a little red truck on here if I still want to go with, you know, the little farmhouse theme, or I may use it in my son's bedroom. I don't know. Anyway, here it is popped into my coffee bar. You guys can see I changed it out. I went and added that little Dollar Tree truck and then a God Bless America. So we'll have something fun and new to look at for our next Good Morning Coffee together. And then there's that little gnome. Now that was a gnome on a stake. They're so easy to remove. You just take some wire clippers, clip it off, and you can just pop it into really any part of your decor. For this next DIY, I'm going to share with you all a summer refresh on some of my little planters that I've had indoors. I did have some really pretty pink spring florals in these, but now we're moving into more of a summer vibe. And so for this one, I decided to take and just use some of the Dollar Tree greenery. Now, Dollar Tree is putting out, I feel like, in my opinion, some really, really, really nice greenery. So what I'm doing is I'm just beginning to fan the little leaves of the greenery out. So it makes it look a little bit more natural when you do that, instead of just keeping it all bunched together. So all you have to do is take and kind of fan each one of the leaves out as you place them. And I'm kind of placing the shorter greenery pieces off to the sides, and then the taller ones are going to be up more in the center. I did end up using about 6 to 7 bundles of the Dollar Tree greenery, and this little planter was, I think, about $15 at not Ruby Tuesday, but Tuesday Morning, which is a home decor store in my area. They've had some beautiful planters. And then I'm just going to take some of the shopping bags and I'm going to pop them in and around the base because there was quite a bit of room. It's a very large planter. And then I'm just going to take some little Dollar Tree greenery moss and pop that on top of the plastic bags because we would only see plastic bags. We want it to look a little bit more high end. But honestly, I'm really surprised when I go into the home decor stores, or really not. I know silk plants can be very expensive, and maybe you get a little bit nicer of a silk plant when you buy them at the home decor stores, but I know that their arrangements are between $30 and $50. And honestly, you guys, we did this for about $6 in plants and then about $1 or $2 in the greenery, and then our little planter, which still, I mean, it wasn't like the most inexpensive thing, but if you find some cute planters, even at the thrift store, which I have found, or paint your own, which I've shared with you guys how to paint them and also how to decoupage on them, you can really have an amazing little floral. Okay, so here's the smaller one. I believe this one is about $8. But I'm just going to take, again, some green, the greenery foam piece. I pop that into the bottom and I recycle and reuse pretty much all of my foam as much as I can. And then I'm just taking these little white roses. Now these are a mixture of roses that I've had laying around in my stash. I want to make just kind of like a little roses bouquet. This is going to be a smaller one, something that I can move in and around. I want this to be on my entryway table because it is a smaller one. So you're just going to kind of take your little buds and trim them off. You want to cluster them together, and I like to put a couple that are a little bit taller in the center and then a couple around some as they go around the base. To kind of cluster together. And if you guys go to Michael's right now, they have their little bridal bouquets that are half off, and that's a really great deal right now. They have really, really pretty flowers that you can use and make these little bud vase arrangements so easily, but really get creative with it. Look into your stash and see what you might already have, and then there's no harm in grabbing a couple pretty new flowers. I know sometimes my silks will get like a little fuzzy on the ends, and when that happens, I'll just take some scissors and kind of trim those off. So here is how it looked popped into my entryway table. Now I had asked you guys what kind of fabric I should recover my entryway chair in, and I actually picked some up at the thrift store. I'm gonna have to share that with you guys. I have not gotten around to it. It's on my do list, but I also have to share with you guys the berry waffle cone candle, which I'm burning right here on this table, is thebomb.com. If you guys need a nice new candle, you're definitely going to want to check that one out. And so here's kind of how a little bit more of how my living entertain room is coming together. There's the greenery planter that we did down there. And then here is Benji Bear and Theo. Okay, so you might be seeing Theo in some of my Instagram stories. Theo is my son, dog, and his little girlfriend, and so they bring him down for visits to visit with me and Benji Bear. They go crazy. They're about 3 or 4 months apart, and they're best friends and best buds, and they really love to tussle around. They're both boys. They're both fixed, but they're just so funny, and Theo's now gotten bigger than Benji Bear, so it's just really fun to watch. Now for this last DIY, I'm going to make another sunflower floral arrangement, and it's going to somewhat match the one that I did earlier. So again, I had found one of these planters, I believe at TJ Maxx, and this other one I found at a flea market for like $10. I thought it was so beautiful, so elegant. And so I'm just going to take these little sunflowers, I'm going to pop them in. And again, remember, I'm beginning to use sunflowers now in my summer decor because it's going to be a dual purpose. So when summer gets over, I can pull the white flowers out, and I'm adding white flowers into the center of the arrangement. And these are just some that were left over from the first arrangement. So again, though, I think sunflowers are such a great transitional flower, and they're always looking towards the sunshine. So anyway, I'm also popping in some of those pretty little blue flowers, and all of these flowers for the most part came from Michael's, and they're 50% off. So I always encourage you all to begin to shop some of the end of season clearance flowers. So you're going to see spring and summer will go on clearance at some point in time right before fall hits, and you guys can grab some really great deals. You don't have to buy the fall sunflowers. You can buy the summer sunflowers, which is what I always do. They may be a little bit more bright. They might not be as muted of tones, but you're going to get such a better deal. So anyway, now I'm adding in some more pretty just kind of draping florals and just kind of staggering them really to make them look like a fresh flower bouquet, or more of like a wildflower bouquet. I know it's not really fresh flowers because they're silk flowers, but this one will not go dead on me. And I'm actually replacing my Mother's Day flowers with these pretty happy sunshiny flowers. So as always, I ask that you guys comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video, and which one will you be attempting to recreate. What flowers do you love to begin to use as your transitional flower from summer and then thinking about moving into fall? I know, don't yell at me, but I do like to get as much bang for my buck. So that's going to be the secret question for this video. What are your transitional hot summer flowers that you absolutely love, or do you love to stick with greenery? For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to make an outdoor solar lamp using one of these Dollar Tree colanders. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to begin to snip off this larger outer edge, and you will need some fairly sharp scissors. It seemed to work best for me to go ahead and clip through the larger lip of it. I started out just trying to kind of clip the little smaller pieces off, and then using these larger scissors, I just clipped off this first lip, and then I'm going around and clipping off the second lip. So basically you just want your colander without that big edge. I also did trim off the little extra tabs at the top with my scissors, and then using these smaller scissors, I'm just taking and I'm going to create like a little hole in the center, and that's where my solar lamp part is going to come into play. So just grab one of those little solar stakes from Dollar Tree, and they actually remove from the stake part, and you can use that top part and pop it down into your solar lamp. So the next thing I decided to do to make it look a little bit more high-end and less like a colander, I just used this black Rust-Oleum 2X spray paint and gave it a nice good coat of spray paint. And you can also lay down a spray adhesive Mod Podge and then add your spray paint. That helps your spray paint last even longer if you're going to be using this outside. Then I went ahead and popped that solar lamp down inside of my little solar lamp, and then I just used some of these Dollar Tree chains, and this is just comes in one pack, and you can take the chains and gently kind of poke them into the top part of the colander, and then you want to try to space them out as evenly as possible into these 3 sections, and then you have a fabulous little lamp on a total budget. Now I'm going to go back in and even trim up those little edge pieces, and you may want to grab an extra colander. I thought about that. Mine turned out fine, but it might be just worthwhile in case, you know, some of those plastic clips kind of clip off too easily or whatnot. But here it is. There it was kind of in the nighttime, what it would look like, and here it is kind of what it would look like in the daytime. And I think it's so fabulous, you guys. It's such a fun and easy way, great for patios or even that little space that you just need a fun little light. So fun, fabulous on a budget. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how to make an awesome little planter box using 2 of these Dollar Tree signs and 2 of these Dollar Tree little smaller picture frames. So I took the picture frame, I removed the original insert, and then I cut this cute little buffalo check plaid paper that I found at Hobby Lobby, and I inserted that into my little mini picture frames. And then I just replaced the little backing to them. I lined them up to make sure that they were going to fit correctly, and then I removed the little tab from the back part of the picture frame. We're not going to need that. I also removed this little top piece, and if you don't have this particular sign, Dollar Tree always for every season is going to carry a sign that is this size, so don't panic. I know you guys can find this. And the other thing is you could just use a piece of scrap wood as well. So then I'm taking some hot glue, and I'm going to hot glue the picture frame on either end of my little Dollar Tree sign, and then I'm going to take the other side and make it Fresh Flower Market. So on one side it could be Fresh Flower Market for spring and summer, and the other side it could be Weed It and Reap when you're doing more planting or when you just want to have a different look, which is super fun. Okay, so don't worry about the interior of it. It's going to be totally covered up. Now I'm taking the other extra longer piece of the signs. I had 3 of these signs actually, and I'm going to add some hot glue and then just pop my little planter box on top of that. And of course, I'm not using any kind of real dirt or plants inside of this, so it really doesn't matter. But Dollar Tree's carrying these cute little burlap little garden goodies, and I'm just going to take some of the Dollar Tree raffia and pop that down inside of here. Now you don't have to use the raffia, but I did kind of like the way that it looked a little bit full. I'm also looking forward to fall and Christmas, thinking I know Dollar Tree is going to carry like some little mini leaf bundles like these, and these are the summer ones that are out. In fact, a friend of mine sent these to me and they worked perfectly inside of here. Oh my goodness, you guys, check this out. Look at how adorable this is. I feel like it's so kind of a French farmhouse chic, and again, you guys can change it out for anything. And I even added in some little lavender sprigs because I wanted the Fresh Flower Market part to show out. And I thought about it once I put the greenery down in there, and I thought, oh, well, I needed to probably add some fresh flowers since it does say Fresh Flower Market. Anyway, I thought this was a really fun idea, and maybe you guys can take it and create something similar with some goodies that you might have laying around your house as well. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you how to make a super adorable farmer's market little sign. Okay, so I'm taking this farmer's market sign that I found at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove it from the other pieces of the sign. It's super easy to do. And then using a zip tie, I'm just going to zip tie it to this little green styrofoam wreath that I also found at the Dollar Tree. Now Dollar Tree was also carrying these really cute little mini gardening sign tools, and they're kind of like that hard cardboard. So I'm just going to take them and zip tie them onto the styrofoam, and I ended up just hot gluing the third one to the base of it. So you could probably hot glue, but I thought since these were a little bit smaller and didn't have as much to hold on to, I would just zip tie those and then add some greenery over it. Then I'm taking some little Dollar Tree seed packets. I actually had intended to plant these in the spring, but I thought that the little packets were so pretty that I would just go ahead and use them on this wreath, and I could also cut the little back and get the seeds out and then still use them on the wreath. Now I'm taking some Dollar Tree greenery, and I'm just going to hot glue the greenery in and around these parts of the sign. So really this you guys can just get totally creative with, you know, use some seed packets, use some cute little signs that you might have and some little greenery, and you have this fabulous little gardening wreath on a total budget, and this is going to be perfect for a little she shed or anybody that loves gardening. Now Dollar Tree also carries these little moss styrofoam stone type things. I thought they would be cute to add in as well, and then it would even be cute to add some of the flowers that were in the seed packets. I didn't really have a whole lot of mini flowers on hand, but I just thought this was so fun and just such a celebration of right now when everybody's going to be gardening and thinking about being outside. I know we are right now. It's summer here. It's really actually been a pretty mild start to our summer. We haven't had a lot of hot weather yet, but I know it's on its way. Now I'm going to make a quick little Olivia Bow with this Dollar Tree wired ribbon. You're just going to take the ribbon, loop it over on itself until you get 2 loops on each side, and then I'm going to tie it off with this little jute twine, and then use that to tie onto the wreath. Now I did go back in with the zip tie to secure the bow a little bit better. It wasn't quite as tight as I wanted it, and then I'm just taking this Dollar Tree gingham ribbon. I tied a little double loopy bow, which is just like a shoelace bow. You just double up the ribbon, and then I tied another cute little loopy bow with a jute twine to stick on top of that. So it's got 3 layers with different textures, which I thought was really fun. I also added a little bow to my little gardening tool over there. But you guys, for this one, the sky is totally the limit. You guys can just have so much fun with this one and get so creative. And you could put gardening gloves in this. I thought about making it on a larger scale, but I just thought I really wanted to use up these little smaller pieces first. So I may do a larger one, and I do love to garden. And it's more of my gardening is more flower gardening. It's not so much like vegetable gardening, but maybe one day I will go for some vegetables. I actually do have some tomatoes out right now that are doing really well. So fun and fabulous on a budget. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how you can make a super easy little Dollar Tree plant stand using one of these Dollar Tree wooden plaques. Now the wooden plaques are in the crafter's square, and I'm just taking my Waverly chalk paint and this brush that I picked up. It's super nice. I think it's for chalk painting or maybe for applying wax, but it's really soft and amazing. I think I grabbed it at Home Depot, but I applied 1 coat to each side of the little wooden plaque, and then I'm taking some of the Dollar Tree Jenga blocks, and I'm going to use my chalk paint and chalk paint 4 of the Jenga blocks, and these are going to be the legs of my little plant stand. I'm actually going to use it as a riser for my other DIY where I created the flower box that says Farmer's Market on one side and Weed It and Reap on the other, or I believe it says Flower Market. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and paint my little Jenga blocks, and really you guys could stain these. You could paint them any color that suits your fancy, whatever your decor is in your home. And again, these little crafters square wooden plaques are going to be awesome. I did pick up a couple of them because I'm thinking ahead for fall and Christmas, of course. I'm just using my hot glue gun, and I hot glued the little Jenga blocks to the bottom of the plaque, and then I decided to make it look a little bit more rustic, and I added in a little bit of Waverly antique wax around the edges just to kind of give it a little bit more character. And then I also used a sanding block to kind of sand that down a little bit. Now I will recommend that you do the staining and the sanding before you add the legs, because I did have to re-glue one of my little legs, but here is how it looks. I put my Fresh Flower Market box on top of it, and I think it's the perfect riser. There's so many things you can do with this. You guys could even seal this with some waterproof Mod Podge and put it next to your sink with a cute little bottle of soap and a little plant on it. I mean, there's just so many fun ideas for this one. So for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how you can create some little Dollar Tree kind of like little mini stand-up signs. I'm taking this little Staying Alive sign. I found this at Dollar Tree. It was part of one of those hanging signs. And then these are just the little Dollar Tree plant tag stakes, so what you would write what your plant is, but I popped it onto the back of this little, and these are just like little cardboard signs, the Staying Alive. So here's one of the other ones that had just like a bunch of greenery on it, and I thought it would be fun to take and make the greenery kind of stand up, almost like a 3D little sign, just to put in and around like a little coffee bar or something fun. And so I'm going to layer these and add these to the front of this sign. Dollar Tree always carries so many fun signs, especially the hanging ones. I always encourage you guys to pick those up because there's so many things that you can do with them. You can get so creative with them. I don't usually ever use them as they're intended just to hang, but they are cute. But I just want to make a cute like little clustered sign because you guys know I love to decorate my coffee bar and little spaces in my home and create vignettes. And I thought this would just be so perfect and fabulous for a gardening idea on a budget. And here is how it turned out. I think it's really super cute, and you can use the little stake to pop into like a little gardening planter box, and then the little sign, because it has the backing from the photo frame on it, it's just going to stand right up and it just give you kind of some fun little gardening vibes, which I think is just so great during the summer to really bring the outdoor feeling inside of your home. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, this is going to be super easy. I'm just going to take a Dollar Tree plastic planter and I'm going to add some of the little gravel, the Dollar Tree stones to the center, and that's going to be kind of like my styrofoam. And then I'm using these long Dollar Tree green picks to kind of pick in and make a cute little fun floral. I thought it would be an interesting way to create a floral instead of using foam. I'm actually out of all of my foam. I love to do so many florals, as you guys probably know by now, but you guys can just take some random little florals that you might have, add some rocks to a container, and you could even pop a little hot glue into this because those little stones probably aren't going to move around a lot if you really wanted it to keep in there. But I want to be able to have the versatility of pulling these out and redoing these and making them fun and different and changing them out seasonally. So I'm just using some Dollar Tree greenery and some of these Dollar Tree white flowers. I want it to remain pretty neutral right now for this one, just to kind of make it feel like it's a little bit gardeny and all of that kind of fun stuff. Now, some of them didn't want to stay as well as I wanted, so I did have to kind of push the greenery part up a little bit on the stem. If you guys happen to get some of those Dollar Tree greenery pieces, that's the way you can work that magic. So I just think that this is a fun idea, and you know, just any little bit of greenery, in my opinion, around the house is just really nice to have for these summer months. And this size is also really nice because it's really easy to pop into a coffee bar, on a windowsill, or really wherever suits your fancy that you need a fun little greenery piece. And here is how it turned out, popped into this little summertime garden setting. I just think it's so fun and fabulous to add these fun summertime vibes with lots of greenery and happiness. And I hope you guys are looking forward to this summer with so much joy. So as always, comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating. And also, as always, I have to share with you guys my little puppy dog, Benji Bear. So share with me your puppy dog, kitty cat, or your favorite pet. pet, drop their name down below. The first Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to make a super adorable tropical summer wreath. So I found this grapevine wreath at the thrift store, and then this super adorable little welcome to paradise sign at Dollar Tree. And then I also am just using some Dollar Tree greenery. I snipped the greenery off, and I'm using kind of this green and white greenery. I just felt like it looked kind of something you might see in the tropics. So I'm just going to add some hot glue to the stem, and I'm going to begin to place the greenery underneath the sign and around the top of the sign. And I did attach the sign with just some floral wire. So the next thing I wanted to do was really bring this wreath to life. Okay, so tropics is full of color, summer, and sunshine. And even though I'm not in the tropics out on my patio, I definitely wanted to feel like I was. So I'm just adding in some of these beautiful tropical hydrangeas. And these are actually left over from Valentine's Day. So definitely dig into your craft stash and use some of those florals you may already have on hand. I also mixed in some really beautiful pale pink peonies, some more greenery. So have fun with it, get creative, add some beautiful florals, and just have a blast. The next thing I wanted to do was add a beautiful bow to my cute little summertime wreath. So again, I dug into my craft stash. I had this just kind of cream colored ribbon, and I'm using my Easy Bow Maker. I'm just to make a quick little simple bow. Go back and forth on your Easy Bow Maker. And I will tell you, I think I probably need to get another one because this one has seen better days. That little wood slat or little wood peg keeps trying to pop out. But this is about a 6 to 7 inch bow, and the wreath form was probably about 13 to 14 inches, just to give you guys a size comparison. I also added in some ribbon left over from Easter. So again, I really think you can repurpose and reuse some of your summer crafting goodies. I'm zip tying the center. I'm going to trim that off and then zip tie it to the entire thing. This is most likely going to go out on my patio. Again, my daughter's last day of school is tomorrow, so I am so ready to just hang out by the pool, go on vacation, and just do some really fun summertime things. And of course, you guys know I have to decorate my home for summer as well. I did add in some more florals, another little bow up to the top of that, and that really kind of filled it out. Now, you guys don't have to go this full, but I really like to go over the top. So comment, let me know what you think about it. I'm totally crushing on it. It just seems like happiness and sunshine. The next Dollar Tree DIY, I have to share with you this super fun idea for how to create an oversized jumbo faux ice cream cone. Okay, so from the Dollar Tree, you're going to grab one of their cute little ice cream cone drink holders, and I just wanted to make a decor piece that could fit in with some of my fun summer goodies. I'm taking this Dollar Tree spackling. I mixed in some pink paint, and then I'm using one of the Dollar Tree piping bags. Now, I realized that the piece that I was working on was a lot bigger, and I didn't have enough spackle by any means. So you can see I started trying to pipe it on, and then I realized it just was not going to happen. So I grabbed my paintbrush because I'm going to make this DIY work. And I just used my paintbrush and I painted around it, and really I felt like that was fine because it already had the like little spiral curl on it, and it was actually a lot easier too. But if I did have more spackle, I would definitely be trying to pipe it and make it look like really ice creamy or cakey. But hey, you can't win them all. Anyway, this would be a really fun craft to do with kids. So it's the featherweight spackle. You can get it at Dollar Tree. I also get larger containers at the Home Depot. And then I'm just using a cute little Dollar Tree straw. I'm popping it in there, and this would be the perfect decor for a cute little summer party, birthday party. You could also add in some sprinkles by just cutting up some little foam pieces, or even like some little cardboard pieces. I've also used real sprinkles, but I might not advise that because summer does tend to draw ants. But here is how it looks popped into my little setting with some big time summer sunshine and fun. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to make a really cool, easy little tie-dye t-shirt using bleach. Okay, so grab some bleach, and then I'm just using this little Dollar Tree spray bottle. I'm going to pop the bleach into the spray bottle, and it is a little bit watered down. You could just use straight bleach, but I didn't want to go full force with this. Now take your t-shirt, which I also found at the Dollar Tree, and you're just going to kind of accordion style fold it back and forth. But honestly, any way that you fold this, it's going to be just fine. So once I had it like folded straight, then I'm going to take it and just roll it up, and that's going to give it a really cool tie-dye effect. I was actually an activities director back when I was in my early 20s, and we did tie-dye t-shirts every week, and it was so super fun. Now we actually used the colored dye, but this is just an idea for how to take a colored t-shirt and use some bleach, and that will change it and make it look kind of tie-dye. Now I'm just taking some saran wrap. I'm going to lay the saran wrap down so I kind of have something to work off of and I don't get bleach everywhere. And you could use a larger Ziploc bag too to put your shirt in, but I'm out of them, so I thought, hey, we'll use saran wrap. Now I did spray bleach on both sides of the shirt twice, so I didn't completely saturate it. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more subtle, and because I did this DIY in one day, the results weren't super dark, but it did give it a nice tie-dye effect. Now my daughter and I have done this same project on some of our old like t-shirts, sports t-shirts and whatnot. Here's how it turned out. I think it looks really cool. If you leave this overnight though, those bleach spots will be way darker. So anyway, these tie-dye shirts are all the rage. This is a fun idea, and again, a great one for kids crafts. Just be sure to monitor them with the bleach. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I have to share with y'all how to make a super adorable little Dollar Tree ice cream cone wreath. Okay, so I'm just taking some Dollar Tree ribbon and this heart wreath form. I actually would have liked to have had a round wreath form, but I am completely out of them, so I'm using this heart wreath form left over from Valentine's Day. I'm just going to wrap it in some ribbon, basically to give me something to hot glue onto, and then I'm going to take the little ice cream plates from the Dollar Tree and cut them down just a little bit. Because this wreath is fairly small, I didn't want it to completely overpower it, and I did have 2 packs of these little ice cream cones, and I used about 4, I think, for each one. Again, with the polka dot ribbon, I'm just giving it a base for me to glue on top of, but I'm also trying to choose fun colors in case there's any peekaboo kind of showing through with the ice cream cones. This is the first time I really ever tried something like this, so I'm not totally for sure how it turned out. You guys will have to let me know, but I thought it was really fun. And again, this one you could do with kids. Just be sure to help them with the hot glue gun. And I'm kind of mentioning that through this video, I guess, because a lot of you all will have your kids and grandkids home and you'll be crafting. And I always love when my kids were little to involve them in my crafts. And so they would like to cut things, or, I would help them with the glue gun and whatnot. And so this is just giving you guys some ideas on how to make some fun summer crafts. Just thinking about it too, it'd be really cute if you took pictures of them, like, holding ice cream cones, and add those to the wreath. That's just like a little idea I had now, just kind of looking back on it. I think that would be fun, and you could put that in your kitchen and you'd have memories plus a really sweet little fun little wreath. So again, just use hot glue to attach the little plates to your wreath form. So the next part of this DIY, I grabbed some leftover ribbon from Easter, and I'm just going to make a quick little Olivia bow. So to make an Olivia bow, you just take the ribbon and you loop it over on itself several times. I do like to use wired ribbon. That really makes your bow stand out and hold up. And then you can just zip tie it to the top of your wreath. And the secret to my bows is to always give it a good fluffing. So I've zip tied it in the center. Now pull those little loops out. And if you guys need more help with your bows, I will link a bow video for you down below. Now it's from Christmas mainly, but it's still the same idea on how to make bows. So once you learn how to make a quick little bow like this, you can just use it for any holiday, which is so great because it involves no tools. And I think they come out looking pretty darn cute. Now I'm taking the little tail here and I'm just going to hot glue that up inside of the ribbon part here. And then I'm going to add this sweet little flower to the center. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to make a fun little kind of sunburst decor piece using some of the Dollar Tree straws. So I'm taking one of these Dollar Tree mirrors and I'm just going to begin to add some hot glue to the straws and then use them on every single point or edge. Now, I would probably say this would need about 3 bags of the straws to create this. And so just hot glue, have fun with it. And I'm using some fun summer colors. Again, this one is super easy and would be a fun one to do with all ages, and just hot glue it, have fun with it. I'm also staggering them and I did cut them down just a little bit. So here is my straw craft about midway through. I also wanted to let you guys know that this craft would be really great if you had a round mirror, which is actually how I planned to do this one, but I had no round mirrors. So at the beginning, I had actually just taken a cup and with a Sharpie drawn like a circle to kind of be my guide around the center. And you could just leave it as a mirror. I wasn't super crazy with how the edges of the straws looked because they weren't perfect, but that's kind of me. I'm sometimes have a tendency to be a bit of a perfectionist, but I decided to use one of these little felt flowers from Dollar Tree. Again, I think left over from the spring at Crafts, and I just pop that into the center of the mirror. And I think that makes it look really cute. And then you can just add like a little paper clip to the back of it, hot glue it down, use some E6000, and that will actually hang this. Add some pearls to the center, and voila! You have a fabulous little, I wouldn't say it's a wreath, it's more of a decor piece on a total budget. I also added some Dollar Tree pearls and then just some more little felt goodies. So as always, you guys, thank you for being here. Comment and let me know what is your favorite DIY in this video and what are your first plans for summer. What is your first thing you're going to do to celebrate summer? I know we are going to celebrate tomorrow and just have a girls' night, go out to dinner and do a little shopping and probably catch some rays if it doesn't rain all day. So anyway, I love y'all and I'll talk to you very soon. I also have to share with you this super cute clip of Benji Bear finding a turtle. Oh boy, he really thought that this was the cat's meow. I mean, he went crazy giving it a good bark down. He was kind of scared of it. He didn't really want to go close to it and he really didn't know what it was, but it was so adorable and I thought you guys had to see that. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how to jazz up one of these Dollar Tree picture frames and give one of those little trucks a cute little stand. So I'm starting out with this 5x7 picture frame from the Dollar Tree. They have some really cute gray ones out right now. And I'm just going to take some of this buffalo check plaid fabric. Not fabric, you guys, it's paper. Okay, so I traced it out in a 5x7 format and then clipped it out. And then I'm just going to pop it back into my little photo frame here and then add the backing back on. Now my idea for this was to take the USA truck that they had out at Dollar Tree for the 4th of July and add it to the front of this picture frame, because so many times I grab their like little red trucks or their truck goodies that are signs for every season, and I don't end up liking to hang them. I want them to stand up. So I thought this was the perfect idea. Plus you guys could choose any kind of little backdrop. Now they also are carrying these little gnomes, and so I'm just going to take the little gnome off of its little stand, and then I thought I would initially just pop them inside of the little truck, and then I decided just to hot glue them to the outside. So then that would give our little truck some character. Now don't panic if you guys don't have the little truck. You guys could really use any little Dollar Tree sign that you wanted to stand up for this kind of project, and any little accent piece as well. Now this is going to be going into my 4th of July decor. I thought it was such a fun idea. I added it to my little studio mantle. I'm not for sure if I want to decorate over the top for 4th of July in my studio, outside, or inside of my home. I do have a lot of blue and white, and I kind of did that so that summer blue and white could transition into the 4th of July, but I thought this was such a fun idea on a total budget. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how to make a super adorable, super easy little patriotic wreath. Okay, so I'm going to start out with this styrofoam round wreath form. It's the green one that you get at Dollar Tree, and then I used about 3 to 4 bundles of the Dollar Tree carnations, and I used the red and white. I'm not sure if they came out with blue ones. I want to say that they did, but my store did not have any. So I'm just taking these carnations, and what I'm doing is I'm pushing the greenery part, the little leaves, up to the top part of the carnation, and then I'm clipping them off so the stem of the carnation is long enough to push in to my little styrofoam wreath form. Now if you want this to go outside and you need it to be a little bit more secure, I would suggest to add a dab of hot glue before you push it into your wreath form. It felt to me like these were on here pretty good, especially once I kind of stacked them. And I am going red and white. And you did see that I added a little bit of glue to that one because it wasn't quite wanting to stay in. So you kind of have to get the carnation ends of the stems long enough so that they will stay in there without flopping out. But then you don't want them to be too long because then they don't want to go in or they'll poke through the back of the wreath. So anyway, just grab some hot glue if you guys really feel like you need that. But again, I pretty much did most of mine without the hot glue. And again, I went every other one, and I did start kind of just more on top of the wreath form, and then I ended up adding another layer on the interior of the wreath form and then a layer on the exterior. So I would say probably grab about 3 to 4 bundles, or maybe even 5 bundles of the colors that you want to use. That way you have plenty to make it nice and full. I kind of like a little bit more of a full look, so for me that's what worked. Now, if you only had enough in your budget to use, a couple of bundles, you could always wrap this wreath form with some pretty fabric or some pretty ribbon, and that would give it something a little bit more attractive than the green part, and then just add that layer of carnations around the front. But it's really less than about $15, or even it's only maybe about $10 total. Anyway, it wasn't much. I didn't use that many carnations, so I thought that this would just be so fun. My other thinking behind this red and white is that you guys could always take this and use this for Christmas. Yes, I said it. We are going to add a removable bow to this, and I always love to repurpose and reuse as much as I can. It helps with the budget, and it just also, is good for the environment. Well, I mean, I do try to repurpose and reuse though. But I also thought this would be a fun idea if you guys needed some pretty little wedding decor. You guys could use this as a centerpiece. Obviously not with the 4th of July part, but you could choose different color carnations, maybe some pink and white. It would work for a bridal shower or baby shower. Now here I'm just taking one of those pre-made Dollar Tree bows, and I zip tied it around the base of it and then just pulled that tight in the back, and it stayed on really nicely. And there you guys have this cute little adorable 4th of July wreath on a total budget, and you guys could probably do this with any age, grandkids, kiddos. So fun and fabulous on a budget. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to take a dollar store lantern. This lantern is actually from Dollar General, and I'm taking this greenery, and I just wrapped the greenery around the top part of the lantern and kind of fanned the little green leaves out. And then to clip it on there, I just used one of those other pieces. Now I do end up adding a zip tie around the entire thing with this little Dollar Tree pre-made bow. But listen, I love to share with you guys really easy ideas for summer, for crafting. And so I'm just going to zip tie this bow to the top part of the lantern and pull it nice and tight, clip that off. And then I decided to make it a little bit more full. I didn't have any red, white, and blue flowers for this, so I thought I would just take some of this red and blue check ribbon. I got both of these bundles of ribbon off of Amazon last season. I crafted with them for last year, 4th of July, and I actually had enough left over for this year as well. So I'm making a quick little loopy Olivia bow, and this is just taking the ribbon, looping it over on itself until you get to the center. It's so easy, and in my YouTube comment section, or description box, you guys can find a bow video that I made for you all, and it's super easy. Just click on that if you need help making bows. And the bows that I made for that video are for Christmas, but it will be for any season really. Okay, so I'm taking a zip tie, and I'm just going to zip tie my little Olivia bow on here and then give it a nice good fluffing. And one tip I have for you when you're making your bow, always try to take your ribbon and just pull the loops around and make them look nice and pretty. So that's going to take some playing with and arranging, and then you're going to want to take a step back from it and you can play with it some more. But that's just a little tip from me to you. The other thing I always suggest too is, when at all possible, to try to use wired ribbon. That wired ribbon makes your loops stand up. And then the next thing I did was just add some cute little blue Dollar Tree rocks to the base of my lantern, just kind of for some festive fun. And then I added one of these flickering flameless candles. I love the flickering flameless candles. They look so real, but you don't have the danger and hazard of having them around pets or kids. And so you can set them down lower, maybe next to a fireplace, or just really wherever you want to set a candle out. And obviously underneath this lantern, I wouldn't want to have like a real burning candle. So I thought that was just super fun and just such an easy way to go. Now, the last thing I decided to add to this was a little burlap rosette. So these burlap rosettes, oh gosh, I've had them for a couple of years now, and I repurpose and reuse them as well. I found them off of burlapfabric.com, but you guys can also just make these really easily with some burlap colored ribbon. Dollar Tree carries that. I do even have some tutorials on how to make a burlap rosette, but they're so easy, you guys. And I just thought it would give it kind of a little bit of dimension here. Of course, that's totally optional. You guys could always also use a little jewel from totallydazzled.com, and I'll leave Natalie's link down below. She's a cute little small business, and she has a bunch of amazing jewels. I almost used a jewel on this one, but I thought I would bring in a little bit of rustic vibe to this and just add that really cute big kind of a basket back behind all of this. So this is definitely going to be an idea for how I'm going to be decorating for the 4th of July. I may be a little bit late starting my 4th of July decor, or maybe not. I do like to enjoy a lot of summer pops of blues and yellows and all of that fun stuff, but this is just another fun idea for how you guys can decorate on a budget. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all a super easy, fun summer project. You can grab one of those Dollar Tree hats, and they're just a $1 sun hat, and then you can take some pretty ribbon and jazz it up to match your summer decor. So for this hat, I'm just adding a dab of hot glue around where I took the little red ribbon off, and I am saving that red ribbon for another project, but I'm taking this blue and white check gingham ribbon because I really wanted some pretty ribbon to show. And again, I did get this ribbon off of Amazon, but just grab whatever you have in your craft stash, and then I'm just making a cute little bow here. So you just take the ribbon and loop it over on itself, pinch it together in the center, and then you can trim it off. I'm not going to make tails for this quite yet. I am going to take a zip tie and just tie this in the center with the zip tie, and then hot glue that to the base part of where my little hat is, where I want the bow to be. Now I always do try to fluff out my ribbon as soon as I make my bow, and then kind of look at things and then attach it to the project and then fluff it again once I'm done. So that's just a little tip. You also want to take your ends of your ribbon and dovetail them by cutting a little triangle in an upwards direction. So you can see I'm folding this, and then I'm taking my scissors and I'm just going to add a little triangle up, and that's going to give me a nice little boutique finish. Now I'm going to take some hot glue and just go ahead and hot glue my bow and then my extra tails onto my little hat form here. And really, again, you guys could just get so creative with this, but I did want this to look fairly whimsical. I have this cute little old bike outside on my front yard, and so I do like to decorate it up for every single season, and 4th of July is no exception, so we're definitely going to be jazzing that up. And then I decided to add in these little blue hydrangeas in and around the base of the pretty bow, and then I'm just adding in some white carnations and some red carnations, and then that again is just a fun way to jazz up one of these little hats. Now you guys don't necessarily have to even do a 4th of July hat. You could always do just any kind of summer hat that you choose with any flowers that you love. I'm excited to see your guys' posts on this in my Livy's Romantic Home Facebook group page. And then I did also just pop in a little burlap rosette into the center, and then there you have a really cute little festive hat decor piece. It could also be used as a wreath. I like to pop these next to my front door sometimes, and here I'm just sharing it in this little vignette that is inspired for 4th of July to share with you guys. This is out in my studio, but I just thought it'd be cute also to put on top of the candlestick. That's another decor idea you guys could use for these little hats. So fun and fabulous on a total budget. So for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I thought it'd be a fun thing to share with you to take one of these cute little plastic, they're supposed to be like a little drink container, but I found this one with the little red truck and the 4th of July flag flying from the back, and I thought it would be fun to add some cute little white rocks, and that's going to make the design on the side of the bottle pop. And so I added some white rocks. I was originally trying to use a funnel to get those rocks in there. The funnel got jammed, so I just ended up doing my best getting them in there. And then I also added some cute little blue Dollar Tree rocks to the top, and that's going to make it feel really festive and also fill up the rest of my little container. The next thing I did was take just some red, white, and blue flowers. Again, these are from Dollar Tree, and then some greenery as well, and I made a cute little arrangement. I love to make cute little fun smaller flower arrangements for pretty much every holiday because then you can pop them in pretty much anywhere. The one that I made for by my coffee bar is just a little bit too large, so I'm actually thinking that this is going to go over by my coffee bar, but you could also put this outside. It would make a great little outside decor piece like on your patio. Because of the rocks, it gives the arrangement some weight. Now I'm not really using any styrofoam to keep these flowers in, so I'm thinking you may want to even add some hot glue to the tips of the flowers, which I may go back and do if I do decide to put these on the patio because I don't want them to fly out. I'm just thinking about that, but I did get them in there pretty tight, so they might be okay for now. We'll have to see. I'll let you guys know. But anyway, I just thought this was a fun, easy little idea for you guys to make something cute. And then I had to go a little bit extra. You guys know me, I love my bows, and so I added a little 4th of July bow around the top of this, and I tied it on with that red ribbon that I had taken off of my little sunflower or my sunbonnet hat with the DIY I made earlier in the video. So I am repurposing and reusing that, and here is how it looks, and also popped into my little 4th of July decor setting. And they have these cute little calendars. You can see Family Blessed Home, and I marked it on July 4th, but they had a couple of different options. I put one by my coffee bar too, that says running on grace and coffee, or grace and caffeine, or something like that. And then they had one more that was kind of an inspirational saying as well. So as always, I ask that you guys comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video, and which one will you be creating. I love to hear what you guys are up to. The other thing, I love to add a secret question into all of my videos, and this one's going to be a little bit different. I want to know, what is your favorite candle fragrance? So lately I've really been enjoying some coconut summer candles. So I would love to hear what you guys love to light and burn, or maybe just what fragrance you like. Maybe you don't like candles, but you liked, a lemon fragrance scent in some of your cleaners or lotions. But give me some ideas for some summer yummy candles. And then of course, here's Benji Bear. He had to get in the shot, and he's also doing some crafting. Oh my goodness, I think he knows he's up to something he's not supposed to be. But
so thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. Again, I want to encourage you all to keep up the good work crafting and decorating. You can make your homes fabulous on a budget. And just remember that these are inspirational ideas for you all. All you guys have to do is change up the paint color, the ribbons, the paper color, the fabric color to match your home decor and match your season even. So I really try to give you guys as many ideas as possible, and modifications as well. If you all are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and I love to craft and decorate on a budget and share these ideas with you all. I also have a community of amazing crafting and decorating folks that are over on my Facebook page. I have a free little group page if you guys want to connect and join and share photos of your home decor and your DIY projects over there. I also share several videos a week on YouTube. I try to put as many crafts and decorating in each video for you guys, just so you guys can stay inspired and motivated and uplifted. So thank you guys again for being here. I can't wait for the rest of this summer season of decorating. And I even looked back on last year, and I noticed that my first fall video, like a little mini haul of fall decor items that came out at Dollar Tree, was on June 23rd. What? Okay, but listen, you guys, we are going to still be crafting and decorating for summer. I'm definitely not quite ready for fall, but it is starting to turn around in my brain just a little bit, because I do love to craft and decorate and go totally over the top with all of my decor. And so it takes a long time to prepare handmade items to decorate your home with. So anyway, I love y'all. I can't wait for our next video. Remember, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, love yourself right where you're at, give yourself grace. And until our next video, we will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.